fight. Trying to see where this life take me, so I roll the dice. Look up to no one else, but yeah, I was shy. I got real power, Hebrew Israelite.
To lay the land desolate.
To do what?
To lay the land desolate.
What are you guys coming back to do?
To lay the land desolate.
Read on.
And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
He shall what?
And he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
So God is coming back to kill all sinners. If you found a sinner, because again, Christ is not this man right here. Do he look like he's coming back to kill people? No. He look like he's gonna give you a big fat hug. Right? But Yahweh Shah, on the other hand, he don't play, man. He's coming back to chop off heads. If you a sinner, you gonna get killed. It don't matter if you God's chosen people or not. It is what it is. If you a sinner, you found doing sin, you gonna die, man. And you don't want that, right? So what's the wisest thing to do?
Pretty much a part of knowledge I know of.
Just go ahead and do it. Because really, is that sin really worth it? Being honest, I don't know what it is. It could be anything. But is that sin really worth it, bro? It's not. So why not let it go? Hey, these some things we gotta take in consideration, right? Give me Hebrews chapter 12 and 1.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1.
Yeah.
Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses,
Right?
let us lay aside every weight.
It says what?
Let us lay aside every weight
Read on.
and the sin which doth so easily beset us.
And the what?
And the sin which doth so easily beset us.
And you gotta lay aside that sin. It says we are compassed with a great cloud of witnesses. Who are the great cloud and the witnesses? That's everybody mentioned in Hebrews chapter 11. Enoch, Noah, Abraham, Moses, right? Give me Hebrews chapter 11 and give me verse 24. Hey, Moses was in the same situation you was in. That's why it's very important to read, brother. Because the same thing you going through, you don't think nobody else went through that in the Bible? The Lord said there is nothing new underneath the sun. Give me that in Ecclesiastes 1 and 10. Read this out first. Hebrews 11 and 24.
The book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter.
Now Moses, you know about Moses. Moses, he was in Egypt. Egypt is literally going down in history as one of the wealthiest hotspots cities of all time.
Right.
People want to go to where? Dubai, Jamaica right now. Hey, back then everybody wanted to go to Egypt.
Right.
Hey, Egypt, it was busting. Right? Read on.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction.
What?
Choosing rather to suffer affliction.
Hey, Moses, bro, you know what's going down in Egypt? Moses literally is called the Prince of Egypt, the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Right? You know what comes with that? Cold. Women. Hey, Moses could have had any woman he wanted. He could have had all of the gold. He could have had power, man. Right? Moses could have, you living in one of the greatest, when I say the greatest, I'm actually talking about, when I mean the greatest, I'm talking about empires that had great rulership. Not saying that the Egyptian empire, because they was awful. Nevertheless, you had Egypt, man, going down as the greatest empires to rule in history. But Moses, he said, you know what? I'm gonna rather suffer with my people. I'm gonna suffer with the Israelites.
Right.
Read on.
Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Into what?
Than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
And Moses, he would rather suffer than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Right.
Right? So what can you learn from Moses? What can you learn from that?
Submit to the Lord. Submit to the Lord.
What can you learn from what Moses did?
Those are pretty much to give up what you enjoy to do what's right.
To do what's right. That's right. Because everything that feels good ain't always good for you.
Right.
Give me that in Sirach 19:5 real fast. Moses, he said, you know what? I'm going to suffer to enjoy pleasures of sin for a season. Because that sin that you like doing, brother, is not going to be here for too long. Everything is temporary in this world. Even the sin. So you want to give, the wisest thing to do, you have to make an investment. The wisest thing to do is to make the investment. Give up that temporary sin for everlasting joy, which is the kingdom of heaven. Living forever. Immortality. Then to enjoy sin for damn what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 10 years. Then to miss out forever of eternity, where our people will be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. Let's read this.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 5. Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned.
It says what?
Whoso taketh pleasure in wickedness shall be condemned.
Read on.
But he that resisteth pleasures,
But what?
but he that resisteth pleasures,
Read on.
crowneth his life.
With what?
Crowneth his life.
A man that resists what feels good to his body, he crowns his life. So just because it feels good, that don't mean it's good for you. Crack cocaine, it feels good to some people. Would that make it good? No. Sex, it might feel good till you get that STD. Then it don't feel too good then. So just because it feels good to your flesh, that don't mean it's good for your spirit. Right? So what we want to do is go to Hebrews 21.
It'll be a big blessing.
What's your nationality? What's your nationality?
My nationality, I am Polish and Irish.
Oh dang, we can't even help you then.
Yeah. Well,
We can't even help you.
okay, well, that's...
It is what it is. Let's read this. Hebrews 12 and 1.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12 and verse 1. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
So you gotta lay aside that sin. You gotta run this race with patience, brother. Get started on the race right now. Don't wait till it's too late to run this race. Cause you wait too late to run this race, you might not cross that finish line in time.
Right.
Just start right now. Even if you start off slow, just start right now. Then work up your pace.
Right.
Racist religion.
You born into slavery, Esau.
Right.
Asking us for money.
Right.
Go ask your own people for money.
Right.
Why would you go to us? Go to the rich white people that own these Jordans.
Right.
Don't ask us for money.
Bring that out.
Hey, we gonna help you. Why would we not rich?
Right.
Why wouldn't he go to the man and his own people that own these high rises?
They're not gonna help him either.
Yeah, we know they're not gonna help him. The point is,
Saudi.
you want to run this with patience. Right? So how do you run the race? By keeping the commandments. So what commandments your cousin told you about so far?
To be honest, on my part, I haven't paid too much attention. That's a fault of mine, actually.
Okay. You eat pork?
I try to cut back on much of it as I can.
Okay. Let's go to Leviticus 11 and 7.
The book
You
of
at the right
Leviticus.
place today. What made you stop down here?
No particular reason. I thought I just had time before I had to clock in from work.
Oh, hey, that's the Most High.
Yeah.
The Lord brought you down here, brother.
Right.
So you can receive this word. Not everybody get a second chance to receive this. First time it was your cousin, then it's us. Everybody don't get that second chance. They get one time and that's it. So you lucky, brother. Let's read this.
Book of Leviticus,
Have you seen this down here before? Have you seen this down here before?
A few times.
Few times. Well, brother, not everybody gets to walk across the servants of the Lord.
Right.
Right? Imagine, there's certain people, they walk by. I know this one sister, she walked by every single damn Friday. We ain't see her out here today. It's another sister, she always walk by, but they don't receive it. Right? And they walking by the servants of the Lord. Imagine that. I wish I had the chance to walk across the servants of the Lord, man. Right? When I came into the truth, I didn't come in like that. I had to watch a YouTube video. So everybody's different. Nevertheless, let's bring this up.
And the swine, though he divided the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
You doing?
Of the flesh shall you not eat, and the carcass shall you not touch. They are unclean to you.
According to the Bible, we cannot eat pork. That's a sin. All right, so most I willing, you can never eat pork again.
And I don't mind sacrificing pork.
Huh?
I don't mind sacrificing pork.
Okay, all praises. That's a small one. Now we're gonna work something up. We're gonna see how far you can get. But that's a small one. You eat seafood? All right, let's read on.
No,
Verse
I'm
9.
not shrimp either, so.
Oh, you already know? So what can you eat?
Mainly, I don't know what kind of fish, but I know I can't eat shrimp, crab, anything that's not really fish, really.
Okay. You can only eat things with fins and scales. So if it don't have fins and scales, you can't eat it.
Right.
All right. Let's go to the book of. You smoke? No. Okay. Let's go to Numbers 15:38. Numbers chapter 15 and 38.
Book of Numbers, chapter 15 and verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
You know what fringes is? Fringes is these. Right here. Fringes. Right? So if you can, you want to go online, you want to get you a pair of fringes. You know what these for? Your cousin wear these? You know what these for? Huh? What you think they for? Why do you think we wear these?
I never given it too much thought, so.
Alright, we're gonna show you. Read on.
Throughout the generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
And what?
A ribbon of blue.
Read that again.
And they shall put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Read on.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that you may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
So we do this to remember all the commandments of God and do them. So it might be a time where we walking through this wicked, ungodly world. We have to look down at our fringes. Remember that we have to keep God's commandments. And it could be an indicator. Somebody could indicate you. They could ask you, hold on, what you got these? What those that you got on? Next thing you know, now you breaking it down to them. Hey, you an Israelite. You getting the sins off you. Right? So that's what for. I'm pretty sure you can have access to get to that. Just go online, type in fringes. Hit your cousin up, man. Get in tune or come out here, get in tune with us, and start trying to keep these commandments.
Right.
You got a beard? You shave? Yeah, sometimes. Even Leviticus 19.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 27. You shall not round the corners of your head, neither shalt thou mark the corners of thy beard.
So according to the Bible, we can't shave our heads bald. No shaving your head bald. Neither shall we mar the corners of our beard if you can't shave your beard. So if you have a beard, you gotta let that thing grow. Right? Don't shave it. What are you doing?
You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead,
Right? You can't cut yourself, read on.
nor put any marks upon you.
Or tattoos. You got tattoos? That's good. Don't get none. Alright? No tattoos whatsoever. Now let's go to Exodus chapter 20 and 8. Exodus 20 and 8.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day.
It says what?
Remember the Sabbath day.
You know what the Sabbath day is? You don't? The Sabbath day is we're going to read it. It's going to tell you.
To keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God.
So the 7th day is the Sabbath day. What's the 7th day of the week?
Sunday.
That's what the world says. You got a calendar on your phone? Just pull it up real fast. Damn, holiday spirit.
See that?
What's the first day of the week? Huh?
Yeah,
Sunday, right? So what's the seventh day? Yeah. See how easy that was? Right? So the seventh day of the week is Saturday. Right now you're in the Sabbath day. So, because we didn't have Apple Watches back then, we didn't have clocks, we didn't have phones. We had to tell the time by when the sun sets and rises. Chiefly when the sun sets. So from even into even, that's a new day. Alright? So, right now you're in the Sabbath day. Because the sun went down Friday, Saturday, or Friday sundown and Saturday sundown, that's the Sabbath day. Do you know the do's and the don'ts for the Sabbath day? I'm going to show you. Read on. Give me Isaiah 58:13.
In it, thou shalt not do any work.
So you can't work. Now you say you got to go clock in, right? According to the Bible, you can't work. God gave you a day just to rest. 6 days, you do all your work, go to work, right? But on the seventh day, no work. And if it was up to the so-called white man, he'll work at 7 days a week. Non-stop labor. Just keep working. Work, boy, work, boy. And we just think, oh, we getting money. But what you don't know is when you're in that work environment, you're getting dumbed down. That's just for that work environment is to keep you not knowing who you are. It's to keep your mind away from God. Because you go in there, you work, you're damn tired, you go home. What you do? Go home, wash up, eat, go to sleep, wake up, do the next thing again, right? It's a repetitive cycle. Where's the time at to know who your God is? You gotta make time. A lot of people don't want to make time. I'm too tired. I don't know. I'm trying to get money. Then they go up with no life. It's people that literally, their life is their job. That's their life. They grow up, 55 some years old, retire. They say when you retire, you work all your life, you only got about 5 years to live after you retire. After that, you're either dead or you got a sickness. Hey, this is statistics, man. So God said, guess what? You can't work, man. On that 7th day, no work. So what you want to do is, you could really finesse the system. You could actually tell your boss, you know what? According to the Bible, I'm an Israelite. I'm saying we got to keep the Sabbath day, and they have to respect that, right? I believe that's what the First Amendment. It's something like that. Where you going?
U.S. Code 42.
Oh yeah, U.S. Code 42. They have to follow that. Now they said, no, we're not doing it. They tell them, hey, U.S. Code 42 says this. Code of conduct. You got to follow this. Now you can actually sue them and get money off of them. So they have to follow this. It's their own rules they set up, right? If you got to tell them, even though it's not a religion, if you got to tell them it's a religion, they gonna say okay. So do that, or in the meantime, look for another job so you can keep the Sabbath day. Hold it. Read on.
In it, thou shalt not do any work. Thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the 7th day and hallowed it.
Yeah, God blessed the 7th day and he hallowed it. He gave you this day, he said, yo, just chill, right? Don't even do that extra, right? Just chill. The Lord, he created everything 6 days, he rested on the 7th day, right? Now bring this up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 58, and verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day.
From what?
From on my holy day.
That part again. Like it.
If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways.
Not what?
Not doing thy own ways.
What can't you do on the Sabbath?
Not doing thine own ways.
On the Sabbath day, you can't do your own ways. What's something you really, really like to do? Gaming. On the Sabbath day, you can't game. All right? You lay that stuff, get that stuff a rest. All right? Lay that stuff, game outside of that. But you don't want to game. And it's a whole game and there's a world inside itself. Right? That's one of the tactics to keep your mind away from God through gaming. Right? So you want to set that stuff aside. If you like going out with your girl in the movies, well, hypothetically speaking, right? And you can't do that. It's the Sabbath. This is a day for the most. This is a day dedicated to the Most High.
Right.
It's the most holiest day. So whatever things you really like doing, right? Which would be, we know, I'm saying, everybody got their different hobbies or whatnot. You like working out, no working out. That's a form of working. You're sweating. You getting sweaty on a Sabbath day. Pumping the iron. That's off, man.
Right.
Right? You want to keep that day holy and sanctified. All right. So them basic commandments. You know the name of the Lord, right? Huh? Yeah, Yahweh, and his son name is what? Yahweh Shai. So you know how to pray, correct? You pray? Not really. So that's something you got to start doing is praying. Right? Prayer is very important. Give me Psalms chapter 5. Well, give me Psalms chapter 55 and 17 real fast. Psalms 55 and 17.
Psalms chapter 55, verse 17.
Yo.
Evening and morning and at noon
David said at evening, morning, and noon, read on.
will I pray.
Like what?
Will I pray.
You don't have to pray.
Will I pray.
Hey, will I pray? Read on.
And cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. He hath delivered my soul in peace.
Sit on that. The point is, David said he prayed evening, morning, and at noon. So you have to pray. You know what happens if you don't pray? Evil spirits are going to stop cropping on you. They're going to overtake you. They're going to infiltrate your mind. Because when you pray, you're in the spirit. Prayer is a form of way to be in the spirit. Again, you have a lot of wickedness out here, man. You have sex demons out here, lust demons out here, got that weed smoke, got transgenders. You have witches right now throwing up curses on the Israelites. As we speak, this stuff happens. You have a child getting molested right now somewhere in the world. This will go on.
Right.
So it's a lot of spirits that go on out here. You want to stay pure from that, protected. How do you do that? By praying. Right, give me Matthew 26 and 41. So praying is very important. That's key, man. That's man. Prayer is actually powerful. Matthew 26 and 41.
The book of Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.
It says what?
Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation.
Christ said you gotta watch and you gotta pray that you don't enter into temptation. Because if you're not praying, guess what? Eventually you're gonna enter into temptation. And that sin you're dealing with, you're gonna be right back doing it again. All because of not praying. Right? So watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. Read on.
The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Is your spirit want to serve God, want to come back to your truth, come back to your nationality, but the flesh is just weak.
Right.
The flesh is going to do what it want to do, man. It's just like, damn. Your flesh, you want to keep the commandments, but your flesh saying, no, get back over here. Do this sin. You know you want to do this. A lot of people, they just say, they let their flesh take it. A lot of people, they conquer the flesh. They say, you're not dealing with that. We serving God.
Right.
So you got to watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit is willing indeed, but the flesh is weak. Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. Give me Matthew chapter 6 and give me verse 6.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
So it's an order. You got the Father, Yahweh, you have Yahweh Shai, you have man, woman, and children. It's an order. Read on.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So if you praying with your head covered, you can't do that. When you pray, you want to uncover your head to show reverence to your head, which is Yahweh Shai, and by default, Yahweh Shai reverence his Father, which is the Most High. All right. So when you pray, you want to uncover your head. Read on.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head, for that is even all one, as if she were shaven.
So when a woman prays, she got to have her head covered. These are certain ordinances that you do when you pray. All right? So when you pray, you want to pray Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. You can say that. Yahweh Bahashim. Bahashim. That just means in the name. All right, give me Colossians 3:17. That means in the name. Right? And you want to say Yahweh Shah. So try it again. Say what?
Yahweh Bashum Yahweh Shai.
That's right. That's right. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah.
Right.
All right. Colossians 3:17.
The book of Colossians chapter 3 verse 17. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Yahweh Shah, giving thanks to Yahweh and the Father by him.
Yeah, so you want to give thanks to the Most High, right, by the Son, Yahweh Shah, in his name. All right, so Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. And what you saying is Hebrew, brother. That's the Paleo Hebrew. That's the ancient tongue. It got more power in it, rather than saying Jesus and God. All right, so those the ordinances on prayer. You got any questions? No? All right, so we're going to give you a little quiz, a little rundown to see what you learned. All right? All right, so you got to name 3 things that you learned up here today. 3 things.
I thought you were asking questions, then I was very
No, like, we're gonna do that too, right? We might give you a multiple choice, but you got to just basically run down 3 things that you learned.
probably learn how to say Yahweh Shai, probably Yahweh, but Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that's one.
Okay, that's right. There you go.
Right.
Read on. Awesome. Saying read on. You go ahead. Yeah. You go ahead and get the second one.
Well, I already knew that I wasn't supposed to cut the beard, but learned that again, I guess.
Okay.
Now, I don't know, I honestly don't know about this, but long hair, what am I supposed to do with this?
Let's go to
Am I
it.
supposed to cut it down, or?
We're going to show you. All right, give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 14. And give me 2 Samuel chapter 14 and 25. I knew this day was coming.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14. Does not even nature itself teach you that if a man have long hair, it is a shame unto him?
Now, some people, they go to this verse, they say, hold on, the Bible says you can't have long hair as a man. They go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 14, and they butcher the whole verse, not knowing what it's talking about. Now they're not knowing what the church of Corinth was dealing with. So, and we were just reading that earlier. People wrest the epistles of Paul to their destruction with no understanding. What it's saying is, it's saying it's unnatural for a man's hair to grow longer than a woman. Because naturally a woman's hair grows longer than a man's hair. And not only that, when you have long hair as a man, people could look at you at a different type of way. That might put a spirit on you. Now with the church of Corinth, right, you have effeminate men in there. Give me 1 Corinthians 6:9. That's why Paul is saying, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? And when you lead on and listen to effeminacy. So you have effeminate men in the church of Corinth. Yeah. So what he's saying is, he's not saying you can't have long hair, because we finna pull up where men in the Bible had long hair. But nevertheless, what it's saying is a woman's hair naturally grows longer than a male's hair. Right. So it could be unusual for a man to have longer hair than a woman.
Right.
That's what it's saying. Read this. Let's read this.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 9.
No!
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of God? Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate.
Nor what?
Nor effeminate.
So you had effeminate men in the church of Corinth. Imagine a feminine man with long hair. That's gonna be I mean, he already effeminate,
Right.
with the long hair, that's gonna make him look a little bit more odd. So again, we have to understand what Paul is saying here. Now let's go to 2 Samuel 14:25.
This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 14, and verse 25. And all they,
You gotta get up out of here.
And just my dad making sure I get the verse.
1 Samuel, chapter 14, verse 25. And all they of the land came to a wood, and there was honey upon the ground.
2 Samuel 14:25.
Book of 2 Samuel, chapter 14, and verse 25. But in all Israel, there was none to be so much praised as Absalom,
Now you have Absalom, which was David's son. Read on.
for his beauty, from the sole of his foot, even to the crown of his head.
So Absalom, he was comely, right? He was handsome. Read on, from his head all the way down to his foot. Read on.
There was no blemish in him. And when he bald his head,
And when he what?
and when he bald his head,
Meaning when he shaved his head. Read on.
for it was at every year's end that he bald it, because the hair was heavy on him.
Because the what?
Because the hair was heavy on him.
I said Absalom, his hair was heavy on him. Right? What type of hair do you have to have it heavy on you? You have just a short cut and then your hair is heavy. Or even the cut I got, the little style I got right now, it's not really heavy. For you to have heavy hair on you, even with an afro, your hair is not heavy. You will have to have dreadlocks for your hair to be that heavy. I mean, literally. There's no other way. Because you can have it down a 70s pro, your hair's still not heavy. You have long dreads, your hair will have to have some type of weight to it.
Right.
Brothers can testify, is that true? A little bit?
Yes,
Is it true? Is it not? I mean, brothers can say it.
It's true.
You can testify to that? Hey, 2 or 3 witnesses. So every year he had to cut it. Read on.
Because the hair was heavy on him, therefore he bald it. He weighed the hair of his head,
He weighed his hair. This is how you finna go in depth. He weighed his hair. Read on.
and 200 shekels after the king's weight. And unto Absalom there were born 3 sons.
And we will also go into that math. Say, what is that 200 shekels going into? That's how heavy his hair was. And shekels, right? I believe that's a currency in the ancient world. We go into it, right? So again, men in the hair, they had long hair. It's just, like I said, pursuing that, it could be unusual. Certain men, they have haircuts, etc. Right? But it's not a sin to have long hair. It's no sin on that. You got any more other questions?
No.
No. All right.
You don't mind if I pick that light? You still got to kind of go right now.
Okay, that's cool, brother.
All right,
All right, what's your, you said what?
I'm saying shalom to you.
All right, shalom. Shalom, brother. What's your nationality before you leave?
Well, you did say I'm an Israelite, so.
That's right, you're an Israelite, brother.
Right.
That's right. All right, we hope to see you down here. We hope to see you down here again, brother.
Right.
You might see me walking by, so.
All right, you gotta come check us out. See that? All praise to the Most High.
Get you in a shallow plum.
And he called me. He called me by surprise, man. Right? Came and said shalom out of nowhere. Right? All praise to the Most High. Hey, sister, you back now? You back to hear the word?
What's I got to say? Hey, tell me something.
What we got to say? Well, we want to keep you out of sin. That's what we want to do. So, you know about the Sabbath day? Now, do you know what we can and cannot do on the Sabbath? No, I'm asking.
I know.
What can we do? Come on, sister. See that?
One strong coach.
Every time, man. You bring out no buying. Hey, she gotta get, she lusting to get her damn lights off. Right? Nevertheless, and we giving all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh, By Hashem Mashiach Komadak Yabushai, the next brother's going to come out to wake up the lost sheep at the house of Israel. Kwame Ashala. Kwame Ashala. Death to America. 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 Kwame Ashala.